What's up, gaming heroes? My name is Erosium, and once again we're back here with another video. Here today we are going to be learning some unique skills that have allowed me to become a master of Among Us. Now, a little bit about myself really quick is I love a bit gaming and I've got a degree in acting. I just decided not to follow acting as a main career choice. I decided to become basically a gaming commentator as a kind of my main job. And here I am. I'm able to put my skills to use now because Among Us requires great acting, great persuasion skills, and most of all, charisma. So I'm going to be showing you in this video exactly what you can do to improve your chances of winning Among Us, and hopefully beat all your friends and kill them with knives in game. Let's get into it. Remember to hit that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and make sure that more people can see these videos. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's get in. So a really big thing that people just don't get when you are playing is just listening. Like, listening is such an important skill that a lot of people just don't realize it's important. So a lot of the time when people are imposters, the first thing they'll do is say, "It's you, it's you, it's you." They'll point the fingers constantly, and they'll be typing in the chat, "It's blue." They'll do that, but really all that does is it encourages suspicion on you because you have zero evidence to suspect someone. What you really want to be doing is listening. Just be quiet. Shut your fingertips. Not shut up, just shut your fingertips, alright? Do not accuse anyone right away, okay? You need to just pay attention. Find out what people are doing. Follow them. Learn. Listen. Most of all, listen. Listening is so important in this game. When someone suspects someone, ask them why. Why do you suspect this person? Listen to their answer. Even if you're the imposter, this is so important. I just got killed. This is good though. Even if you're just the imposter, it's so important to listen to what people are saying because it diverts suspicion and makes people think that you care who the imposter is. When really you're the imposter, you're tricking them. So a lot of the time I'll be an imposter, I'll kill someone, I'll run off or I'll vent away, and someone will report the body and I'll go, "Where did you find the body?" And they'll say where the body is. And that's the only thing I'll say. I'll shut up at that point and just listen and watch the chat, okay? And usually see it's always where. I saw this. Fine, red is sus. People will say all these things, and then when I see something like red is sus, I will say, "Why is red sus?" And then the person will say, "I saw this, which made me think it." And if it's valid evidence, like I saw them vent, I'll be like, "Oh really? Seriously?" Question mark. And I'll pretend to care about what they are saying. And then if they did definitely see them vent, then obviously I am going to vote against my imposter if I have to, because I want to obviously divert suspicion from myself. However, if they aren't 100% sure, I'll skip. Or I'll vote for someone else depending on what the general consensus is. You really want to kind of be like, not a sheep, but you kind of want to go with the crowd and not stand out like a sore thumb. You want to be kind of like not noticed. You don't want to be suspicious. Okay, you want to be listening, keeping your ears out, and listening for every little detail you can. Now, if someone votes for you but doesn't say anything in the chat, keep an eye on them. And if you get an easy time to kill them in game, kill them, because that person is potentially going to be pointing the finger at you next game, next round of chat, and that will really hurt you going forward. Now, here's another thing. If someone is very vociferous in the chat and vocal, "It's you," and they're pointing their finger at you, but they haven't given good evidence, question them, but don't be aggressive. If you're aggressive, the first thing that will happen when you're aggressive is they will basically just think it's definitely you, and they will hold on like a dog with a bone. They'll be like, "It's definitely you." And then other people jump in and be like, whoa, why are you being so aggressive? It's got to be you. You're being so defensive. But really, what you want to do is just question them. find the weaknesses in what they're saying. So say they say, oh, the body was an electrical and I saw you running towards storage. That's where you say, yeah, I was running from lower engine. I had to calibrate the lower engine and then run to storage so I could fix the wiring. That gives you some plausible deniability, but also shows that you were doing one of the other tasks. Then you return and you say, why were you near electrical? And you don't say you're sus because you're near electrical. Say, why were you near electrical? Ask with genuine concern as to why they're near electrical. And that way, it casts the suspicion that maybe they're trying to divert suspicion onto you, but really they're the murderer. They're the imposter. But obviously they're not. You're obviously a filthy imposter, and you're trying to just pull one over everyone. And it's just worth keeping that stuff in mind. Being genuine, being a nice person in the game will encourage people to want to vote with you rather than against you. Now, when it comes down to it, it's going to sound really bad, but leaders tend to get voted off. Leaders in this game tend to get voted off. So in order to not get voted off, don't be the one that's always kind of pushing to, oh, you got to vote this person. Only do that if you are 100%. You've seen the vent. You know, you've seen them do something specific that has to make them the imposter. That is like the basics of, you know, how to win as an imposter. Now, how to win as a crewmate is obviously do your tasks, watch people do their tasks, watch the green bar at the top of the screen, and if the green bar doesn't move and they move from a task, then you know that they're faking that task. It's very important to keep that in mind. Now, what's also important is some tasks require multiple uses. So say, for example, fixing wires. When you're fixing wires, you have to fix the wires in one place, then go to another place, fix the wires there, and then go to another place and fix the wires there. Now, the green bar doesn't move until all three of those have been done. So if they're fixing wires, don't expect that green bar to move because it probably won't. Not unless they're doing the last one. You want to be doing it for specific things like, for example, cleaning the vents in O2, doing, say, the reactor, specific things like that. Now, I have managed to catch a few imposters doing this little trick. What I like to do is, if I suspect someone is an imposter, I like to, and I think they're following me, I like to lead them towards security. Then I like to run up to the security desk, which is the cams desk where you watch the cameras, and not click on the cameras. Just run up to it like you're watching the cameras. But really, what you're watching for, as hopefully other people will be around as well, is for them to run up to the cameras as well. Now, if they don't use the cameras, you can tell. There's a way to tell if they're using cameras or not. Is you quickly run off the cameras and you go into the corridor, and if the camera that is pointing out onto the corridor is lit up with like a red blinking light, that means they're actually watching the cameras. If it's not, it means they're watching you, not the cameras. They're faking watching the cameras. Now, I've actually caught imposters before just because they are on cams and not actually looking at cams. They're just looking for a cheeky, easy kill. And they're just trying to fake looking at cams. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on that little trick and tip. Another one is always be careful of crises. When the crises kick off, say, for example, the reactor goes off. Always, once the reactor's been done, go and help with the reactor. Once it's been done, run to the other end of the map. Find the body, because usually when someone does something like a reactor crisis, usually there's a body in navigation or O2 or, like, you know, shields, that type of area, because they want to divert, you know, they want a plausible deniability. They want to say, oh, I was all the way at reactor, how did I kill him there? Always go and check and try and keep an eye out on who comes from that direction, okay? And same for if O2 goes off, check all the way at reactor and cams or electrical, because there could be a body there as well. Now, for those that don't already know, a really good little tip and trick is, if you're imposting and want to get a cheeky, easy kill, just kill someone in electrical and vent over to medbay. It's such an easy escape route. Loads of people die in electrical, and it's one of the most common places to kill. But what you do have to bear in mind is people now know it is a common place to kill and are very suspicious and careful around electrical. If you're doing this, just make sure that you double check who's in the corridor, You double check no one's hiding around a corner before you do it, and then you obviously vent over to either medical or you vent over to security. You just have to be careful. Oh, bloody hell. That's 2 games in a row. You just have to be careful when you're venting over to medbay that someone's not just waiting outside the front door of medbay, because that can hurt you. They know obviously if you go in there or not. Another trick as a crewmate is to keep an eye on admin. So in admin, there's like an admin table that you can watch to see where people are. Now, sometimes someone will appear, say, for example, in, let's use electrical, and then they will suddenly appear in medbay. And you know that that someone has just used the vent and they've just vented from electrical to medbay. What you can therefore do is say, I'll show you an example here. Hopefully I don't get killed in the first 30 seconds. So we're at admin here, and all the yellows basically mean that's who's here. So someone's here on security, someone's here at cafeteria. Now, for example, if he was at security and disappeared, but very quickly medbay went off, a yellow person went from here to here, then we know that they just used the vent from security to medbay. If there's 4 people here and then suddenly one person jumps straight to here, we know that they've just vented from electrical to medbay. And if we're quick enough, we could just run up here and hopefully the person will be still running out and you can catch them. And if you can catch them, you know that they vented because you've seen that they vented across to medbay. Good little trick, good little tip. And you can do that in various different ways. So if I show you the different ways. Oh, red's dead. So, I said where? Electric. Did you see anything? The green was coming from that side. I was at generator. See what he's doing there is trying to divert suspicion. Green could be coming from lower engine generator. That's completely understandable, but realistically, the person probably vented from electrical to security or electrical to medbay. I didn't see anyone at medbay. Oh. Okay, so the black said that he didn't see... The black said he didn't see anyone come from lower engine, so he didn't see green. But then orange said green was coming up to security. Interesting. See, going off this, I think that the darker... Going off this, I think the black imposter is... actually might be the imposter just based on how he's behaving in the chat. I might have seen blue, but I don't want to suspect someone so early in the game. That tells me that he's trying to appear compassionate, and usually the people that are trying to appear compassionate, in my estimation, are imposters, because they've kind of learned the basics of lying, and that is to appear innocent and appear likable. It's charisma. So I'm actually going to vote for black, and I've got a chance of probably dying next round as a result. This is another little trick I like to use, is I go into this area here and I just watch the door. You see? I watch the door. He's checking to see if anyone's coming. He's gonna... Alright, yeah, sure, let's go up here. Go on, kill me. Okay, so the door got closed there. And he disappeared. I like to chuck the question mark in. See, I think it's this black imposter here. I think it's gotta be. I think this person's quite inexperienced at lying. He's very talkative, and he's diverting suspicion onto him by talking too much. which is often a problem. People get nervous and they talk too much. We don't know if he is or not. Yes, he was an imposter. Yeah, he's just talking a little bit too much, and he made it pretty obvious that he was an imposter as a result, because he's getting quite nervous. Now, I think Black is the other imposter here, because of how he is acting. Very suspicious, like. Okay, he's just done O2. I don't know where he's actually gone. Here he is. If I do this one, will I die? 69226. Okay, he had loads of opportunity to do that. I'm going to vote a meeting here. I had to do it. He was standing and pretending. My screen is super small and I can't see numbers. I still think it's dark. I'm going to vote and keep it simple. We'll see what happens. I'm going to skip. That's okay. Now I've called him out on it. I'm hoping he's a bit more aggressive towards me. And it becomes obvious as a result, and we should still win. See, he hasn't been able to kill since I've been following him. And he's trying his hardest to get me away from him. Can't kill because I'm following him. And it's making it too difficult for him. It becomes this easy at this point. Really, really wants to kill me now. And provoking him a little bit, but it has to be done. Sometimes you just gotta provoke it. There is a slight chance it could be orange. Slight chance. We'll see. There we go! Excelente! There we go. Called that shit. Thank you very much, GG. GG, well played. There we go. And it's that easy. I was in reactor. No one said where the body is, bud. Boom. There we go. The bait is real. The bait is real. I'm what can I say? I figured it out, dude. Figured it out. There we go. GG, nice play. I suspected early due to your chat. GG, well played, man. Keep it nice and friendly. I had to call it. There we go, guys. There we go. This is what I say about how you can just read what people are saying, figure out really easily based off how they are acting. Now, Black was compassionate. He was a good liar. And that was it. He's probably going to talk to me right now in chat. Let's have a look. No, unfortunately, Black didn't really have a choice. He had to get me. Had to get me out from that. But yeah, you guys kind of saw how I picked apart what he was writing in the chat and how I figured out, like, a lot of the time you have to figure out what level of liar they are. So first is first, like, if you're dealing with a master level liar, then they're going to be tricky to catch. They're going to be so tricky to catch. Master level liars are so good, all right, because they have many different plays in their book of lies, okay? The intermediate low level liars are just ones who have just one way of telling a lie, and that is, I didn't do it. I was doing something else. Yeah. That is a kind of like a low level liar, right? Because that's all they can kind of throw out there. A kind of medium level liar is someone who comes across as, I would say, as compassionate. And I would say I'm currently about a medium level liar. Comes across as compassionate. Is just listening a lot. Trying to become better at just listening and responding to what people are saying. And just coming across as intelligent and someone who wants to kind of figure this out together as a team. Master level liars will do everything. They will do everything, whatever is required in the situation, and they will be good at reacting to it. I've seen master level liars who finger point right at the start, and they will just point someone random. Honestly, they'll point to someone random, say he did it, and then they'll take a few seconds and say, actually no, my bad, I think I missaw. I'll skip for now. And they'll do that just to do that, and then later on they'll start to do the compassionate act, and then later on they'll maybe do another finger point, to the point that it goes on, and they'll just try different things constantly, and as a result it makes them very hard to be detected as someone who's lying, because they've got so many different hats that they can wear in terms of being a liar, and it's just interesting. Kind of what level, because once you can work out what level of a liar someone is, you can pretty quickly get good at this game. So right then I could immediately see Dark Green wasn't a very good liar. He was just immediately saying, oh well, I was running past this. He was like the low level liar, you know. And then Black was compassionate liar. I could see straight up he was a compassionate liar, and then he tried to use me as a scapegoat of saying, no, I was with you, I could have killed you a bunch of times, but because I was like a dog with a bone and I knew he was lying based off how he was coming across, straight away I was like, okay, definitely him. Boom. And it was that easy, just because I was able to identify what type of liars they were. Now, if Black had come at a different way, if he said, for example, if he'd stopped leading the way and started to follow me back and just played around, and maybe like just very subtly suggested someone else could be involved, then I would have kept my eyes on someone else as well, and then my suspicion would have wavered and fallen onto someone else. But because Black was just trying to come across as only compassionate and just being thoughtful of oh, it's not me, I'm doing tasks and such, but I was watching his tasks and none of the bars were moving up. And because of that, I was able to see that it was all just BS, you know? But he couldn't kind of react in any other situation. Just keeping in mind those little tricks and tips, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope that that you guys smashed the like button and helped me with the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you in the future. If you want to see more Among Us content, smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.